Long before Wall Street, retirement accounts, credit cards, or central banks, ordinary people faced financial challenges that are still familiar today. Earning enough to live, avoiding crippling debt, protecting savings, and planning for the future were concerns for everyday people, not just the wealthy or powerful. Nearly 4,000 years ago, in the ancient city of Babylon, one of the wealthiest and most sophisticated civilizations the world had ever known, simple financial rules were written down. These rules were not designed for kings or scholars, but for merchants, laborers, and families struggling to survive and prosper. The remarkable thing is that these lessons continue to quietly govern modern money. They explain why some people accumulate wealth steadily while others struggle, despite having similar opportunities. Tonight, we explore The Richest Man in Babylon, not as a self-help book, but as a historical blueprint for financial success, and why its principles continue to shape the way Americans earn, save, invest, and sometimes lose money today. Babylon, the first financial capital. Babylon's wealth was not accidental. Its location between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers made it a natural hub for trade, agriculture, and governance. Babylon became a center of commerce where goods from thousands of miles away were exchanged. Spices from India, gold from Egypt, timber from Lebanon, and textiles from Anatolia all passed through its markets. Merchants traveled long distances, negotiating contracts, paying taxes, and borrowing capital to finance their ventures. Loans were written with great precision, interest rates were clearly defined, and debts were enforced according to strict legal codes. Babylonian society understood a fundamental truth: money is not merely earned, it must be carefully managed. Clay tablets from the period reveal detailed records of loans, partnerships, repayment schedules, and even personal debts. They show families losing land, craftsmen losing their tools, and workers losing freedom when debts were not managed wisely. These records illustrate a world very much like our own, people working hard, earning money, and yet often failing to manage it properly. Out of this environment arose stories intended to teach financial discipline. These stories, passed down over centuries, eventually became the lessons in The Richest Man in Babylon. They were practical guides for ordinary people, showing how to achieve financial security and prosperity through planning, discipline, and wise choices. Babylon was not just a city of survival, it was a city of opportunity. Merchants who understood contracts, risk, and interest became wealthy. Those who did not often struggled, or worse, fell into ruin. The lessons from this ancient society remind us that wealth is rarely accidental and that financial success has always depended on careful planning and disciplined habits. At the heart of The Richest Man in Babylon is Arkad, who became the richest man in the city. When asked how he achieved his wealth, he did not credit luck, intelligence, or unique opportunities. Instead, he emphasized habits. Wealth, he explained, is the result of consistent, disciplined actions over time. Arkad's first and most important rule is simple: pay yourself first. This means setting aside a portion of your income before spending on anything else. In Babylon, the recommended portion was at least 1/10 of earnings. By reserving a portion of income, people could begin to accumulate wealth steadily. In modern terms, this principle is reflected in automatic retirement contributions, emergency savings, and long-term investment accounts. The key lesson is not the exact percentage, but the priority. Saving consistently, even in small amounts, allows wealth to grow and creates a foundation of financial security. Historically, societies that encouraged saving achieved stability. Those that emphasized consumption and immediate gratification often fell into debt and financial instability. Even two people with the same income can end up in very different financial situations, depending on their ability to save consistently. Arkad provided a vivid example. A young man earning well but spending everything was quickly in debt and despair. Arkad reminded him that wealth grows where it is respected and disciplined. This principle remains true today. People who prioritize saving, even modest amounts, accumulate security, while those who spend impulsively often remain financially vulnerable. Debt is not a modern invention. It has been a challenge throughout history. Babylonian records show families losing property, freedom, and future income due to mismanaged debts. Arkad warned that debt can enslave future earnings. When people borrow excessively, a portion of their future labor is already spoken for, leaving them with fewer options and less freedom. In today's world, debt comes in many forms: credit cards, student loans, mortgages, and consumer financing. Regardless of the form, the principle is the same. Borrowing beyond one's ability to repay can lead to financial stress and loss of freedom. History shows that excessive debt is one of the most common causes of collapse, both for individuals and nations. The Roman Empire, medieval kingdoms, and modern governments have all suffered when debt grew beyond control. The lessons of Babylon were clear. Debt should not be feared, but it must be carefully controlled. Borrow wisely, repay responsibly, and never allow debt to dictate your life. Consider this. If a person borrows half their monthly income, they are effectively giving away a large portion of their future labor. Their freedom, options, and peace of mind are constrained. Debt is not just about numbers. It represents future potential and freedom. Babylonian wisdom reminds us that financial security is built by managing debt, not avoiding it entirely. Another key lesson from Babylon is the danger of greed and poor financial advice. Arkad described people who lost their wealth chasing easy profits. This pattern is timeless. Tulip mania in the 1600s, railroad speculation in the 1800s, dot-com bubbles in the 1990s, and cryptocurrency surges in the 21st century all illustrate the same principle. Chasing quick wealth without understanding risk often leads to loss. Arkad emphasized the importance of seeking advice from those with proven success, rather than trusting dreamers or salesmen. He warned that speculation without knowledge is a path to ruin. Modern investing mirrors this advice. Avoid speculative schemes, understand the risks, diversify your investments, and be patient. Financial history punishes greed and rewards discipline. Wealth built carefully over time endures, while wealth built recklessly disappears. Arkad illustrated his point with examples from Babylonian merchants who trusted flashy salesmen or risky ventures and lost everything. The lesson is clear. Financial decisions should be informed, deliberate, and grounded in proven methods, not charm or hype. This wisdom has not changed in thousands of years. Time is one of Babylon's most powerful lessons. Money that is protected and wisely invested grows slowly at first, but over time, its growth accelerates through compounding. Compounding is the principle behind long-term stock market investing, dividend reinvestment, and retirement accounts. Compounding is not dramatic. It does not promise instant wealth, but it is relentless and powerful. Those who start saving early benefit enormously over time. Those who delay experience the cost of lost opportunity. Consider this example. Investing $100 per month for 40 years can result in far more wealth than investing $200 per month for just 10 years, due to the power of compounding. Arkad reminded young merchants that money, once earned, could work for you if given time, much like a seed growing into a tree. Patience is one of the most powerful tools in wealth creation. The lesson is clear. Consistent saving, wise investment, and the patience to allow compounding to work are fundamental to building lasting wealth. Despite modern technology, apps, and financial innovations, human behavior remains largely unchanged. Income comes in, expenses go out, debt tempts, and fear and greed influence decision-making. The richest man in Babylon remains relevant because it describes human behavior rather than markets. Its rules have survived economic upheavals such as the Great Depression, world wars, inflation, market crashes, and technological revolutions. While tools and systems change, the core habits that create wealth remain the same. Pay yourself first, control debt, avoid speculation, and allow time to grow your investments. Modern Americans face endless financial innovations, but the underlying principles of wealth accumulation have not changed in 4,000 years. The wisdom of Babylon continues to offer guidance in navigating financial challenges, ensuring security, and building prosperity. Babylon fell, its walls turned to dust, but its financial lessons survived. Every paycheck saved, every debt avoided, and every patient investment follows rules written thousands of years ago. Financial history does not repeat because markets repeat, it repeats because people do. The oldest rules are often the strongest. The principles of Babylon, discipline, saving, controlling debt, and investing wisely over time, remain the foundation of financial success today.